Welcome to Good Morning Football. We're live at the NFL Experience. Welcome to Times Square. Welcome to New York City. Monday, August 13th. My name's Kay. We've got Nate Burleson, Peter Schrager. No Kyle Brandt, at least not on prompter.
Oh, I'm off. He gone. See you guys. It's been real. I'm going to go play some pinball. I'm out of here. See you later. All right.
But you're skipping, so your foot's...
I feel good.
Your foot's feeling pretty well?
I feel good, for goodness sake.
Yeah, let's do it. We got preseason action.
How about them Raiders?
Is that James Brown?
Yeah.
Or James
White.
White?
To be excited about right here on the East Coast. A lot of drama going on around the league, so let's hit it. Time for the lead block, y'all.
Lead block. Lead block.
Let's be... like the Hulk.
Let's do it.
Nate, love having you guys here. Love starting a Monday off right here on GMFB. Let's start with this pretty stunning news out of Jacksonville. The Jaguars deciding to suspend star cornerback Jalen Ramsey and Dante Fowler for 1 week each for, quote, violating team rules and conduct unbecoming of a Jaguar football player. Our very own Ian Rappaport first reported this, saying, quote, Jaguars all-pro corner Jalen Ramsey was suspended by the team for a week, sources say, after going after local media for what he believes is unfair treatment of his teammates, especially Dante Fowler. He authored several tweets in support of his teammates and disdain for local media. Guys, he's missing a preseason game. What kind of a message is Doug Marrone sending? What do you guys think about Jalen's reaction to what happened with Fowler?
Now, I don't want to take this out of context because I don't know exactly what was said by the member of the media in regards to these guys getting into a scuffle. But after kind of listening to you set that up, Kay, if the team suspended both of them, did he suspend them for the fist fight? Because did Fowler go out there and attack the media like Jalen Ramsey did? I'm not sure. So to answer your question, I would say I appreciate them guys taking a stand and doing it their way. Oftentimes, you'll let players handle things within the media, handle things on the field their own way. But for the organization to say, this is how we're going to do things moving forward, even though this team is young and brash and oftentimes can say things that we don't want them to say, they can stick to their guns. Right, wrong, or indifferent, I respect the organization's decision.
You get in a fight. You're Dante Fowler. You're suspended a week. As Dante Fowler, are you happy with Jalen Ramsey for defending you to the point of getting suspended, or are you like, I can handle my own stuff? In the locker room, how does that go down?
Well, listen, brothers fight, and they have each other's back. If you're Dante Fowler, you're going to dap him up, give him a hug, and say, I appreciate it. Jalen Ramsey's always going to speak his piece. You know, people at home may say, well, if he's one of those guys that talks a lot, he has to be one of those guys that accept it when people write about him or post a video about him. But I'll say this. Randy Moss went in the Hall of Fame. And I remember sitting in the locker room after we beat the Green Bay Packers in our third game in a wild card playoff game, and we're sitting there, we're celebrating. Everybody is jovial.
What did Randy do?
They come over. Everybody comes over to the locker room, sitting right next to Randy. And the first reporter asked him a question, Randy, oh, we can't believe it, man. You guys did an amazing job. How do you feel about this victory? And he said, don't I know you? And we're in Green Bay. And the guy's like, yeah, you know me. He's like, yeah, you're part of the local media in Minnesota, right?
Okay.
He's like, yeah, that's me. He's like, I read everything you write about us. You've been doubting us all year. Now you want to come here and celebrate with us? He's like, don't ask me a question. Don't talk to me. Anytime you think of me, you better not say anything. It's guys like you that are bandwagon. Everybody else can ask me a question. That guy felt smaller than ever, and he backed up out the crowd. And I remember thinking to myself, oh, my God, Randy, you're tripping right now. But then again, was he, though? Because these guys will come in and smile in your face, but then the second they get a chance to write something bad about you, they jump on that opportunity because, of course, it sells. I'm not saying this was the case in Jacksonville. I'm just saying that was the case in Minnesota.
Straight, you know the game. You've been in these locker rooms.
And I'm like, really cool, Randy. Like, way to minimize a guy who's trying to make a living, like, in front of everyone in his locker room.
To dog you out in the local media?
Yeah, I don't know. Philip Heilman was tweeted by Jalen Ramsey saying this. You know you done messed up, right? LOL, if you want a war, we got some for y'all. I know the rest of y'all, you know who you are. Gonna read this too, so just know, hashtag lame-ass reporters. And you're saying, I respect Jalen Ramsey for that tweet. No, come on. This guy's doing a job. You don't talk to people like that. And if Tom Coughlin and Doug Marrone want to come down and say, hey, we can push the envelope all we want, but let's not call them lame-ass reporters. You're squinting your eyes. He tweeted out a video of a fight. He didn't say Jalen Ramsey's a scrub. He didn't say Jalen Ramsey is out in the streets. And this guy's calling him a lame-ass reporter.
Did the team tweet out that video?
No.
So if the local media was looking at the team, why would they put it out there?
What?
Why
They're not working for the team. They're not PR. Why would they not? This is his job.
Okay.
People are getting laid off in the media because they can get everything they want from the team. So this guy finally has a differentiating thing that no one else has. It's unique content. He puts it out there. He's trying to make a living. He's a credentialed member of the media that deals with the PR staff. And he's called lame-ass reporters, and you want a war and all this stuff. I love Jalen Ramsey as a player, but if they want to discipline him, I'm okay with that also.
That's the first thing I said. I'm okay with it. That's the first thing I said. You said people are getting laid off in media. Guys are getting cut in football. The media can write whatever they want about a player. As soon as a player steps up and says something, all of a sudden he's out of pocket. Jalen Ramsey's not going to fight him. He's not going to. He didn't say, "I'll challenge it to."
It's pretty intimidating to me. Y'all want a war? We got some.
He's basically saying, "I'm not going to talk to you."
Here was the tweet from the reporter. After 11 consecutive padded practices, tempers flared during a Jags team period Sunday. Continued afterwards when Dante Fowler and Yannick Ngakoue repeatedly had to be separated by teammates. That is it. That is the entire tweet with the video. That is not inflammatory. I don't know. Look, I'm on Trey's side with this.
I'm also reading that Jalen approached a media member during practice and said, "Stop shooting this. Like, stop. This is not for you to shoot, and I'm gonna shun you and all that." He's fired up. Peter, I'm interested in hearing from you because you come from that journalistic perspective. Is the line not crossed? Like, you're saying that reporters have to do what they have to do. Is this not looked at as Bush League, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you're reaching, like, act like a journalist and act like a professional. I don't know. Like, I feel like the rules are rewriting themselves now because people are.
A lot of times they'll tell you guys the first 5 minutes of practice are not for cameras, or they'll say, "Hey."
Is that right?
Yeah, and a lot of times it's not kosher to be posting out videos because if you see a trick play, the coach is like, "What are you doing? You don't put a trick play out there." I don't think this was anything that was more, but when I see intimidation and words like that from Jalen Ramsey, I do think he crossed the line.
He's not challenging this man to a fight. He's basically saying, you want a war of words. As soon as a media member comes up to my locker room and wants a great quote from Jalen Ramsey, I'm pretty sure Jalen has fed him a lot over the last year. He's saying, I'm not going to feed that to you because you sat here and recorded the scuffles and reported on the scuffles. But there's 90 minutes of practice that you could have wrote something good about. You decided to post a fight. That's what Jalen's saying. And I get where he's coming from. Now, his words, are we all of a sudden breaking down Jalen Ramsey's words? We love those words. We're the show that compliments those words.
I would say yes.
Now all of a sudden we're like, oh, wait a minute. He said lame-ass reporters. We're sensitive now when we're the ones that love everything he says.
I think Jalen's a little sensitive right now.
He's always been sensitive. There's nothing changed. Like, we've known he was a sensitive player.
Jalen just had a baby 3 weeks ago. It's the fifth circle of hell. All right, you understand? Like, he's in a tough point. That's a tough.
Makes you emotional.
Young Breland Ramsey. I heard she's lovely. You're getting those texts about when you're getting home. I can't sleep. It's a tough time. This is what I would say, though. We can debate the ethics of practice journalism. What's fascinating to me is getting inside the head of one of the most fascinating players in the league, Jalen Ramsey. I like that he's ornery, all right? Maybe he crossed the line. If there was another player, most other players who are teeing off on local media, I'd say it's a terrible idea. But I would also tell that player it's a terrible idea to fight A.J. Green or call out Aaron Rodgers or call out Odell. Some guys play better mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember when Jaguars? Remember when John Henderson used to have to get slapped in the face out in the field? I feel like Jalen does it, but he slaps himself. You know what I'm saying? With great swagger comes great responsibility. My only question with Jalen would be this. Are you in control of your instrument? Are you in control of that flamboyance and that aggressiveness? Because this is going to be a different season from him. He is famous now. He is a household name. He's the guy who, when they come out of the tunnel, the fans are going to be screaming at him. I also think, I don't know if the Jaguars in their history ever have had the best player at their position in the league. Maybe Tony Baselli. Jalen Ramsey is about to be the most famous Jaguar in history and is going to hear a lot, and he's going to get a lot of chirping. So if he can control that and he can keep them in the swag wars rather than just the jerks, that's the most important question.
You have me now. I like it for the reasons you said. I also like what Doug Marrone decided to do because I think it's clear that can you control yourself? You can't. You're suspended a week, and everyone's saying, oh, it's a vacation. It's a week. He can't be happy about missing a trip, missing some joint practices, missing all of that leading up to the second preseason game. Doug Marrone, I feel like, is, he's going on podcasts. He's showing up at our studio. He's great. He's likable. He's, in our opinion, one of the most likable coaches in the league. He's eating bologna sandwiches, and he has great quips and all of that. But he is a coach, and he means business, and you can push the envelope, don't cross the line, and I love that he's showing that throughout the preseason when easily he could have brushed this under the rug.
Absolutely. He laid down the law, and when it all comes to it, Marrone is a, what do they call him, a red blank?
Yeah.
He's one of those
Not a lame ass, a red ass.
No.
Right?
You don't mess with him.
Jalen, tweet the show,
Anytime.
#TFB. All right, moving on. Plenty of football played since we last sat down here at the breakfast table. Let's check out some of Saturday night's action. We had two QBs making their debuts. Ooh, a revenge game for Case Keenum.
This one's got it all, Kay. Case Keenum, 2 years, $36 million. Kirk Cousins, 5 years, $400 billion with the Vikings. Gets a lot of money. So how's it go? First quarter, guys, check it out. This is going to make us happy. The Tate train, Latavius, right up the middle. He goes 20 yards. That's our favorite player, our best friend of the show. He did a
Maybe
signal in the end zone. Incredible. The tight train. He does it. All right.
He looks fast.
Chubb got blocked too. All right, so Von Miller not out there, by the way, for Denver, which I think figured pretty prominently, especially as it pertained to Kirk Cousins. But how about this guy? Stephon Diggs.
Stupid catch.
Just got paid. Stupid catch, stupid throw. Looks pretty nice. Look at him. Oh, we love Stephon Diggs. Give me a little bit. Now go back to him. He didn't score now. Preseason fantasy owners need him to score. And there he is. Stephon Diggs. Nate doing the dirty stuff over the middle, too, in the goal line.
I like that. Little fake punt action. He said, nah, I ain't going to get that fine.
He should have thrown his helmet mini miracle style. No. Instead, Case Keenum comes out. All right, here's his debut. It's obviously a very loaded evening for him against his former employees who chose not to retain him. And it didn't go that great, but it didn't go that terrible. He's trying to get the rookie involved. Cortland Sutton, second-round pick out of SMU. Incomplete. It's okay. I kind of like him out there in that number 4. It looks kind of nice. Next Broncos possession. They're down 7-0. It's 2nd and 6. He's going to incomplete again. All right, so it doesn't look terribly sharp, but again, limited work. Let's see. Next play. It's a 3rd and 6. Can you move the chains, Case? Nah, he's down to Royce Freeman. It's another incompletion. Royce Freeman, 3rd-rounder. Peter out of Oregon? The Ducks. All right, Paxton Lynch. Paxton Lynch portion of the program, guys. We've been waiting for him. He's about 7 feet tall, monster arm, looking.
Paxton.
Yeah, that didn't work. It's a 26th overall pick here. Tries to find Austin Traylor, no relation to late Robert, but intercepted by Anthony Harris. There were preseason boo birds out in Denver. You don't see that often. Royce Freeman, like we mentioned. Let's go to the Royce Freeman package. He's a duck. He runs. He's got game. He's got bounceability at him.
Kyle,
Okay,
best running back number 37 in the history of the game.
I can't name one.
Sean Alexander?
Oh, yeah, I should take a lap for that. Sean Alexander, not a lot of great 37. Name a second one.
I don't know.
I don't know either. How about at Vikings quarterbacks, number 23? This is not something wrong with your picture. Trevor Simeon's on the Vikings now, guys. Out of Northwestern, we used to bait him ad nauseum, and look at this.
Whoa, Rock!
He goes to Rock Thomas, the Rock Nation. He spells it R-O-C. Rock Thomas, 78-yard touchdown, guys. The Rock, finally with a hit. I love it.
Good movie.
And he's doing a little swag. What's The Rock? Oh, incredible. Welcome to The Rock. Ed Harris, amazing in that movie. Nick Cage, Stanley Goodspeed. Who do we got next? Chad Kelly, Peter, NFL royalty. Talk about it.
Jimmy Kelly's nephew comes right out here with Mr. Irrelevant last year in the draft. Missed a lot of time with injuries. Looks very good. Looked better than Paxton Lynch.
Shout out to Philip Lindsay out of Colorado, who scored a 19-yard touchdown. A lot of love for Kelly there as we flash the Packers logo because we always shout out to the Midwest at this time in the morning. Vikings win 42-28. The big takeaway was Cousins came out and looked real sharp. Let's go to him, the big money man up in the great white north. Skull, Kirk.
I thought it was a great first drive, great start to the preseason, and it was good to get our offense out there in a game setting. It's very different from practice, and great to get the run game going, the pass game going, and just get off to a good start. We got to take it for what it is, but if we had played poorly, we'd certainly be going back and coaching hard on it and trying to learn from it and talking about how far we have to go. So if you play well, you got to also say, hey, good start. But like you said, small sample size, take it for what it is, and get back to work. But Monday morning watching the film is a little better after scoring 42 points than if we had a really poor day.
Kirk Cousins looks pretty happy there. Him and the Vikings looked pretty unstoppable on that opening drive. Small sample size, but Case Keenum's 2 drives ended in Broncos punts. Yeah, not the same offensive line that you had up there in Minnesota. Is it, Case? What do we think of what happened with these 2 quarterbacks? Triggs, I got to say, you throughout the entire offseason were like, Case to Minnesota is an amazing idea when some of us have been questioning the chemistry.
Yeah. Since day one, I've said Cousins is an upgrade from Case Keenum. And then I saw what they did on defense, and they brought in Sheldon Richardson. And then the Vikings opened this gorgeous new facility where players are spending their off seasons in Minnesota instead of Orange County, California to train. I hate getting ahead of myself, and I don't want to do this in mid-August.
Do it.
I think the Vikings might be the best team in football.
Okay.
And that's based on a preseason drive? Yeah, it is.
Philadelphia.
Cousins looks amazing.
I like it.
The defense looks awesome. On paper, they're incredible. They got better from last year. I think the jump from Cousins to Keenum is massive. I think this is the team to watch, guys.
Let's poke some holes.
And
you guys?
I know that freezing cold takes is going to come after me, and this might be something that haunts me.
Doesn't matter. Sure.
The Vikings might be the team to beat.
As you're talking, I want to sit here and attack you and keep this party rolling from earlier in the segment and say, Traeger, it's only 4 passes. Get over yourself. But those 4 passes look good. They look good. So listen, I'm not mad at it. One thing I can say when looking at these highlights is I go back to what every receiver, their tight ends, everybody was saying about Kirk Cousins when he got there. He's trying so hard to build the camaraderie, so hard to build up this chemistry, so hard to get us on his side and get on the same page. And you can see it in the game.
There's another quarterback in the
I know,
NFC North
Rodgers is
that's
coming.
really, really good. Kirk Cousins threw a really impressive 4 passes in a preseason game. Peter, it's a lot. I understand. It's, you know, case
You're
in
gonna
poke
take
holes. It's hard.
Aaron Rodgers singularly over the entire complete team that is the Vikings. You cannot agree that that's wise.
I don't do things that are wise on the show.
You're going to take on the scale, Aaron Rodgers equals the defense, Everson, Smith, Diggs, Rudolph,
Right.
Cousins.
Really
He's
good.
better?
Well, you mentioned Cousins last. We don't know yet. I know Aaron Rodgers is better than Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins can still fall on his face.
Nick
It's
Foles
so
won
fun
the
to
Super Bowl
overreact.
last year.
I know, because he had
This
an
is
incredible team
vanilla
around him.
So did the
vanilla
Vikings.
defense.
I know. So you're saying emphatically the Vikings are better than the Packers?
I do. I am
You're in?
I'm saying that. Yeah.
You're in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
Nate?
think you have to look at a complete team. You have to look at defense.
The jury is open. I'll say the Vikings still have the lead within the division, yes, for sure. But it's a vanilla offense versus vanilla defenses in the preseason. Like, just keep in mind. let's
Kyle,
not
if
get ahead
there's
of
an
ourselves.
island to be on, it's with Aaron Rodgers. That's not a bad
That's
place to be.
I've never changed. Jay and I used to do it against the Lions. I'll do it against the Vikings. I think he's the best player in the sport.
All
I'm
right.
fine with
I'm
it.
still on the
You go
venue.
hop on your dinghy.
I'm in.
Do you guys remember when? Do you guys remember Chris Warren?
Of course.
Chris Warren from back in the '90s. I don't.